Have you ever found yourself pondering what it's like to come face to face with the untamed fury of nature? Well, buckle up, because we've got something incredible for you. Imagine sailing the open ocean, only to be blindsided by a mysterious rogue wave, or standing in awe as a fire tornado tears through the Australian outback. What about witnessing the might of an avalanche or the relentless power of a tsunami? These aren't just clips. They're real-life encounters with Mother Nature's awe-inspiring and sometimes terrifying moments. Join us as we journey through some of the deadliest natural disasters caught on camera. Have you seen the movie The Mummy? Nature can be much more amazing than what a CGI artist can come up with. We found an amazing video of a big sandstorm blowing over China's northwest in 2022. AccuWeather says that the strong dust storm started in some parts of the northwest Chinese province of Qinghai. The video shows a tornado that moves through the desert and threatens drivers who are in its way. The sandstorm went on for a long time. All transportation stopped, so both locals and tourists had to stay inside until the storm was over. Some of the scariest storm images we've ever seen were caught in this video. The 84-year-old Clem Schultz filmed it from his bedroom window after seeing a tornado grow behind their Illinois home. They were in an area that was prone to tornadoes, so he thought about what else they could do. He was sure that the tornado would go west of his house, protect him and his wife. Clem thought that the power would go out soon, so he went upstairs to get a light. That's when he saw that the tornado was getting faster and bigger. He decided to start recording, and even though he knew the tornado wasn't going to miss them, he didn't say a word as it hit them with a loud boom. Clem amazingly made it through the scary event. On the other hand, his wife was one of the 2 people who were killed. 24 homes were completely wrecked, and many more people were hurt. Rogue waves are waves that seem to come out of nowhere in the open ocean. They're also known as weird waves or killer waves. Most news stories call them walls of water. They're not the same as tsunamis, which are caused by water moving around because of underwater earthquakes, landslides, or volcanic events, and they don't get very big until they hit the coast. Researchers say that rogue waves happen when smaller waves combine with bigger ones. Now, this can happen because of strong winds on the surface or changes in ocean currents caused by storms. However, the process that causes the strange crests are still a puzzle. The crew of the Adonia thought that they were ready for anything when they first set out to sea in September 2000. This video shows that the crew is focused on the big waves in front of the ship, when all of a sudden, a wave comes from the side and hits them. A lot of people think that rogue waves are to blame for many of the strange shipwrecks that have happened in history. In Brazil, Furnas Lake, which is also called Lago de Furnas, is a must-see spot for tourists. The stunning rocks, waterfalls, and caves make for a stunning background. The close hydropower dam with the same name turns the water green. Unfortunately, a terrible incident happened in 2022 that killed 10 people, when a cliff suddenly caved in and buried the tourist boats below it. People watching were scared and couldn't do anything to help. A group of family and friends were out on the day exploring when they were killed. A lot of different cameras captured the terrible incident from different viewpoints, and it quickly spread around the world's social media sites. Besides the deaths, more than 30 people were hurt, and 9 of them needed to go to the hospital. One waterspout is beautiful to look at. To get more seems like something out of Hollywood. In 2020, a man had his camera ready when he saw 6 waterspouts moving at the same time in the Gulf of Mexico. This happened as 2 tropical storms got closer to the US mainland. He took a video of huge plumes of water being sucked up into the air off the coast of Louisiana. Tornadoes that start over water or move from land to water are called waterspouts. The liquid vortexes are like regular tornadoes in many ways. They form during storms and can be just as dangerous. Nature isn't very good at subtlety. Just ask Chris Tangi, who watched in shock in 2012 as a 100-foot fire tornado tore through a part of the Australian outback. Tangi, a director, was looking for filming locations near Alice Springs, Australia, when he caught some very rare footage of the amazing event. People don't see fire devils very often, but they may be more common than we think. Wysocki stated that their most likely home, the center of a wild forest fire, is often hidden from our view. Fire devils are seen a lot more often than they are recorded on video, so no one knows what sizes and speeds they can reach. The term once-in-a-lifetime weather event is often used to describe floods in places that have never had a major flooding event before. And the rains in July 2021 in Henan Province, China, really did fit the bill. The regional center, Zhengzhou, got a year's worth of rain in just 3 days. As you might expect, the whole city was underwater. Everyone in the province was affected by the terrible flood, but people who were stuck underground in the metro were in the most danger because the water quickly rose to their necks. 14 people were killed in the city's train system. Videos of people being washed away in other parts of the province led to the belief that many more people died. Some years ago, an asteroid 60 feet wide burst over the Russian city of Chelyabinsk. It was a surprise to everyone. The asteroid hit Earth's atmosphere on February 15, 2013, and the resulting fireball was caught on security cameras, car dash cams, and people's smartphones. A loud earthquake and sonic boom followed the blast. The destroyed buildings set off car alarms and hurt more than 1,600 people. It was a shocking wake-up call about how important it is to protect the whole world. Thanks to progress over the years, we can now find small asteroids with greater accuracy. NASA has even tried to find ways to knock asteroids off course. For example, the recent DART mission hit and destroyed a small piece of rock. DART was able to move the target rock, showing an interesting way to protect the Earth. On February 6, 2023, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake hit southern Turkey near the border with Syria. The next quake, a 7.5, happened 59 miles to the southwest, almost 9 hours later. Thousands of people died, and the countries that were hit lost a lot of money. Turkey is prone to earthquakes, and the first one killed more people than any other in more than 20 years. Even worse, it was centered near Gaziantep, in the south-central part of Turkey, which is home to many international aid groups and thousands of Syrian refugees. When people around the world asked for help, governments quickly sent out relief teams and other supplies. As teams looked through the rubble for lives, the world saw scenes that reminded them of the days after 9/11. Only 3 people were found. One of the biggest natural disaster risks in Norway is right under the people who live there. Landslides of quick clay are very dangerous. The video of the Alta disaster shows that the results can be very bad. There's quick clay below the coastal level in Scandinavia. This is where the sea level was during the last ice age. As the ice sheets melted, pieces of clay moved with the water and landed in the salt water near the beach. Because of this, the dirt that was underground is now above sea level. The salt has been washed out of the clay layers over time by fresh groundwater. This changes a clay's strength properties in a big way. If this kind of clay gets too heavy, it can instantly melt, which can make the ground slide. This can cover huge areas and make buildings on the ground fall down or float over long distances. Off the northeastern coast of New Zealand is Whakaari Island, which people often just call White Island. Before the December 2019 eruption, it had been a popular vacation spot for many years, even though it was New Zealand's most active volcano. Seismological activity went through the roof in the weeks before the event. Even though there were no public warnings, that afternoon, 2 separate tour groups went to the island by boat. Whakaari blew up right as the first group finished their tour, and their boat was leaving the island. It sent a huge column of rocks, steam, and burning gas for 12 miles into the air. Alessandro Kaufman's video shows the tour boat he was on going back to the island soon after the earthquake to help people who were still alive. Because of the chance of more eruptions, official relief attempts had to be put off. Still, 3 brave chopper pilots tried to save the people, but were later charged by New Zealand's WorkSafe Health and Safety Department. The superheated gas consumed the 47 people who were stuck on the small island, killing 22 of them. When a wave several meters high hits the shore, most people don't stop to take pictures of it. If you stand back and watch the damage happen slowly, though, when the wave is a wall of moving ice, you have plenty of time. In 2013, strong winds pushed ice floes from Dauphin Lake in Manitoba, Canada, to the shore. When it hit land, the ice tsunami, as people called it, got about 9 meters high in some places as more ice was blown in behind it. It destroyed 6 houses in Oakville River, a lakeside village that had just recently recovered from terrible floods in 2011. In 2017, California was destroyed by flames at a rate that had never been seen before. Online videos of the fires showed cars, houses, and land on fire. In fact, by the end of the tragedy, there had been about 9,000 wildfires across the state, which had destroyed over 10,800 homes and killed 46 people. The fires were caused by the warmest weather ever recorded in Southern California, which ran from April to September. There was also very little rain in the Los Angeles area, which made conditions perfect for wildfires. And then, the dry Santa Ana winds, which got as fast as 70 miles per hour in some places, helped it to spread quickly. In 2004, the day after Christmas, tens of thousands of people from Europe and the United States went to the beaches of Thailand, Sri Lanka, and Indonesia to get away from the cold weather during the winter. At 7:59 a.m., a 9.1 magnitude earthquake in the Indian Ocean destroyed an underwater fault. This sent a huge stream of water towards tourists on the beaches who weren't prepared. It was the worst tsunami ever recorded, killing 230,000 people in just a few hours on Christmas Day. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami's sheer deadly power had been linked to the earthquake that set it off. A megathrust fault set off the earthquake. This type of fault happens when heavy marine plates sink below lighter land plates. A 900-mile chunk of the Indian and Australian plates broke apart in the 2004 earthquake, which happened 31 miles below the ocean floor. Instead of a single strong shock, the quake happened over and over for 10 minutes, releasing the energy of thousands of atomic bombs. Hurricane Michael hit Florida on October 10, 2018, and it was clear right away that it was one of the strongest Category 5 hurricanes to ever hit the eastern United States. 16 people died, and $25 billion worth of damage was done. This amazing footage was taken by a brave Callaway resident who chose to make a home movie about the damage done to his town despite all the chaos and destruction. You can see how 150-mile-per-hour winds tore through this whole neighborhood in just 15 minutes. At the end, you can see a tour of a normal street that is now just a pile of branches and broken roof tiles. The borders between Kyrgyzstan and China are where the Tian Shan Mountains are located, along the Old Silk Road, which ran from Asia and the Middle East to the west. These beautiful mountains were part of the trade route. On the mountain in 2022, a big fault killed 10 people, 9 of whom were from Britain. Harry Shimon, one of the hikers, put a video of the event on his Instagram account. It shows the terrifying moment when snow sped down the mountain in the distance and then hit them, making them run for cover as it fell on top of them. Shimon was taking pictures away from the lead tour when he heard deep ice cracking behind him. He kept recording the slide until it was almost too late to get to safety. Japan was hit by the biggest earthquake it had ever seen on March 11, 2011. The quake happened in the North Pacific, 81 miles east of Sendai, which is in the northern half of the island of Honshu. It caused a tsunami that killed many people. A lot of tsunamis, like the one that hit Tohoku, are caused by tectonic action below the water, like earthquakes and volcanic outbreaks. The Tohoku tsunami sent waves up to 132 feet high and forced about 450,000 people to leave their homes. Over 15,500 people died. The wave also destroyed a lot of the country's buildings and roads. Even a lot of homes, businesses, roads, and tracks were destroyed, as seen in video footage of the event. The wave also caused 3 reactors at Fukushima to melt down. This was a toxic disaster that will have an impact on history for years to come, just like the Chernobyl disaster. There are so many wildfires in the summer these days that news of them happening in other parts of the world doesn't seem to get much attention. But the huge rise in flames around the world in the last few years have made people realize that this isn't just a problem for California. A lot of land has been burned down by huge fires in South Africa, Turkey, Algeria, Australia, Italy, Brazil, India, Greece, Russia, and Cyprus over the last few years. This video is from Turkey, where people who work in restaurants are trying to get home after bringing food to firemen fighting fires in the countryside. The awful burning forest seems to close in on them until they have no choice but to turn around. They were lucky to get away from the fire without getting hurt. There were 8 deaths in the fires, and hundreds more were hurt. Blizzards are very specific types of snowstorms that have winds of at least 35 miles per hour, heavy snow that lasts for 3 hours or more, and a vision of less than 0.25 miles. In 2022, the Buffalo area, which was used to freezing weather, was hit with long periods of whiteout and very cold temperatures that killed dozens. One of the best-known storm chasers in the world, Reed Timmer, is caught on camera trying to cross a road that is snowy up to his chest. The winter storm brought rain, then cold weather, heavy lake-effect snow, and strong winds that made western New York very dangerous and killed dozens. Indonesia is located in an unusual location on the global map. It's made up of about 17,500 islands, and 120 of them have active volcanoes. That spot is famously called the Ring of Fire. And it often has earthquakes, soil liquefaction, landslides, and tsunamis. All of these terrible things would befall the people of Indonesia within 2 months, in late 2018. Around 6 p.m. on September 28th, a 7.5 magnitude earthquake happened off the coast of Palu in Sulawesi Island. It caused a huge landslide underwater that sent waves through the water. People were not ready for the 23-foot-high tsunami that hit Palu because early warning devices did not work. A lot of people were hurt, and more than 4,000 were killed. A video from an open-air concert in Java is among the images of the event. The well-known local band 17 was playing for about 200 people, mostly families, when a wave hit them from behind. The singer lived through the terrifying event, but all of his bandmates and his wife died. People in Kachin State have long fought back against the Tatmadaw, which is very harsh. Because of this, the area does not have any organized Burmese control, which means that drug production, smuggling, and illegal mining are all very common. When it started raining really hard in one of these deep mines, a miner took out his phone and started filming. More than 162 people were killed when the landslide he caught on camera rushed down the valley like a wave of mud and rocks. Avalanches are caused by many things, such as snow that slowly builds up and falls down hills because of its weight. Most of the time, explosions are to blame. But other natural tragedies that happen miles away can also do it. On April 25, 2015, in the afternoon, a huge earthquake with a magnitude of 7.8 hit Nepal and killed over 9,000 people. The shockwaves at Mount Everest Base Camp were not strong enough to hurt anyone badly, and none of the buildings that were there fell on top of the 2,000 people who were there. But just minutes after the huge earthquake in Kathmandu Valley, a huge fall of ice and rocks swept down Mount Pumori and buried the base camp in snow and rocks. At least 20 people were killed, and hundreds more were hurt due to the falling debris. The video of the event shows how fast and hard the avalanche came crashing down the mountain, and it shows how lucky the cameraman was to be alive. On August 29, 2005, Hurricane Katrina hit the coast of Louisiana. Over 1,800 people died, and almost 1 million had to leave their homes. In addition to the deaths, Hurricane Katrina destroyed or injured more than 800,000 homes, leaving many people without a place to live. Katrina was the most expensive storm in U.S. history. It was estimated that it would cost more than $160 billion and cause more than $81 billion in damage. Since the disaster, the African American community in New Orleans has been slowly getting better. But what did the United States learn from Hurricane Katrina? Unfortunately, there isn't much. Florida Atlantic University did the first study of its kind that found that escape plans in America's 50 biggest towns haven't changed much. There is still a lack of preparation, especially when it comes to getting people without cars and other vulnerable groups out of the area. People who have been caught in a hailstorm know that it's not something to joke about. Over the years, hail has killed both people and animals. In Moradabad, India, in 1888, over 240 people were killed in the worst hailstorm ever recorded. Destructive storms and heavy rain are common in the Chinese region of Guizhou. The area is in such bad shape because of the ongoing destruction that some people are worried that China might have to step in and help. This is because the area is already one of China's poorest and most in debt. The recorded video from April 2023 shows huge chunks of hail destroying cars, houses, fields, and animals. In some places, hailstones the size of grapefruits were seen. On May 18, 1980, a volcano exploded from the side instead of the top. In the next few minutes, volcanic ash destroyed the land, releasing 8 times as much energy as all the bombs used in World War II put together, including the 2 atomic bombs. It was the first major volcanic eruption in the lower 48 states in decades, and its explosion killed 57 people, including scientists, photographers, tourists, and the people who lived in the shade of the mountain. Scientists thought that something bad was going on under the stratovolcano in Washington state, which is located between Seattle and Portland. In less than 2 months, a huge bump, a town-sized pimple of strangely placed magma, emerged on its north flank. This made everyone wonder if the volcano could explode from its side instead of the top. Most people were taken off guard by the eruption's unusual size and strength, which showed how much the science of volcanology still had to learn. But which of these do you think was the deadliest? Let's hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.